Welcome to YoKiwi. This is a channel I kept so that students can learn to become leaders of their life by improving themselves through self-improvement. And the reason it is self-improvement, and that is the only way they can become the best version of themselves, it is because self-improvement has always been out of syllabus. My name is Kiwi. I've completed my school, right? And throughout my school, I've never seen like a subject of self-improvement where we deliberately practically improve our health, wealth, relationship, and all areas of our life. Maybe there were subjects like life skills, personality development in some of the subjects, and physical education, but they weren't enough. Because what we see now is a nation. It's a nation where leaders are corrupt. And we need to take the step. To change the world, we must change ourselves first. How do you do that? You may think that it is too much to start. Self-improvement, it's too much. I already have my syllabus to cover up. I already need to study. I am a student. I need to focus on my studies. But self-improvement is not a thing different from studies. Self-improvement goes along with studying. It is when you work out for 3-4 years and realize that it is benefiting your health, which in turn is benefiting your mental health, which in turn is benefiting your performance in your studies, and therefore getting you more grades. And therefore, let me make it clear to you, it doesn't compromise your studies or your life or your duty as a student, which is very crucial as your foundation. You must educate yourself. How you educate, maybe through the learning system, the education system. I'm talking about school or college or self-learning, homeschooling. Some people go for that. Whatever it is, self-improvement goes along. Okay, it does not constrain you. Okay, but yes, the reality is that you must spend at least some few times from your day to commit to improving yourself. Now I'm going to tell you how to do that in the upcoming clip where I do like a presentation for you. I don't usually do this, which is why I'm mentioning this transition. So I hope you like this new transition that I'm trying out. And yeah, let's go try it out. So welcome to this new transition. How to use self-improvement as a student. I hope you're following along. As a student who is busy with school. So, we are busy with school. School takes most of the time in our day. Students feel exhausted. If you're a student of school or of college, just think it as one. We often don't get time after school. We have our homeworks, we have our syllabus to cover up, and then we are too busy to work on our finances and health and relationship, to even exercise. We find like very small amount of time to do that. And I'm going to tell you how to use self-improvement as a student, even if you're busy, okay? And these are the lessons that also works for beginners, especially those who have lost the basics and want to restart their self-improvement journey. So let's go. What do I mean? What do I mean when I say you are busy with school? First, you have to ask yourself a question, okay? Follow along with this diagram, bro. I know this is a bit weird, but studies have shown that we humans are visual learners, and we have always evolved to learn visually instead of reading text and all. We learn through pictures and visual representations, which is why I'm emphasizing this style of videos. Okay, so first question is, are you really busy? Are you busy, bro? So for that, let's see, you have 24 hours a day, right? 24 hours a day, out of which 8 hours for sleeping, 8 hours for school or college, and which so far we have 16 hours. Now 16 hours, bro. You have 16 hours. The rest of the time is 8 hours. You have 8 more hours. 8 more hours. What do? Maybe you eat food for like 1 hour in your day, and then maybe you eat food, you go to washroom, for another 1 hour of your day. This is food. F for food. And then what else? You have 6 hours left. What do? Maybe you study for like what? 6 hours. 6 hours. Okay, too much, but this is just an estimation. The thing I want to make it clear with this point is that you have more time than you think. Most of us think that we're too busy, we're exhausted, okay? And I've been one of that as well, but we must realize and take responsibility, okay? We must be proactive. What do I say? Proactive. We must be proactive and make our own time. We need to make our own time. We cannot wait for others to make time for us, especially if we are students. You know, as a student, we've grown up, we've always taken orders from the school, from our teachers. They tell us what we are supposed to do. So, on the process of learning, of growing up, we've lost this ability to tell ourselves what we are supposed to do. We have lost this skill of initiating ourselves to do certain activity. So really what you want to do is make time by yourself, not by anyone. You want this sense of like independent action, I would call it, where you make 2 to 4 hours a day for self-improvement. Most of you guys are gonna think like, yo, I don't have 2 to 4 hours a day. My day is too packed up. Is it really packed up, or are you really packing it up with the wrong things? That's another question you want to ask. Is it really packed up, or are you packing it up with wrong things, such as time wasters, bad habits, scrolling through the phone, scrolling through the phone, what is it, jerking off, binge watching some contents online, which aren't really helping you, by the way. What you would rather be better off doing is working out or like studying your books. That is something more productive. Most of us, we think, bro, we don't have enough time, but really, we're just wasting our time doing the wrong thing. What do we want to do is, again, 2 to 4 hours in self-improvement. So 2 to 4 hours, what do? Well, usually what I would suggest you to do is do the good habits. Some good habits are like, I usually tell this, but usually the good habits are meditation, so MED, short for meditation, journaling, JRNL, journaling is also very good. These two, and then we have what? Exercising, right? Exercising, E, and then what do we have? Studies, all of this stuff, bro. All of this stuff. Just meditate for 10 minutes, journal for 10 minutes, exercise for like 30 minutes, study for like what, 3 hours. What do we have? 20 minutes, 50 minutes. You have like 4 hours, bro. And this is just the beginning. And let me tell you, now you know what to do, right? You know all these good habits you can integrate in your life. People are gonna say like, yo, this is a time waste. It's no good. It's gonna affect my study. But bro, studies have also shown, by the way, I'm picking up studies because really meditation, journaling, they help boost your brain power, bro. Look at the structure of the brain. They increase your brain power, your memory power, your ability to focus and control your attention for a long period of time. They increase it. Journaling helps you explore your mind. Meditation helps you focus. And also exercising is also help to chemically enhance the brain performance. So what does this do? How does this help? Well, this in turn helps in your books, in your studies. That's exactly what it is. I don't know how people are still finding it hard to relate working out, meditation, and good habits with studies. The thing that relates studies with all of these good habits is the brain itself. The really instrument that you use to do your studies is the brain. Get the brain right, boom, the studies is done, let alone the health aspect. So you see, take time to do all of this meditation and all these good habits. Now we get into points like, oh shit, how do I practically implement this in my life? Really, there's not really many practical steps here, okay? But there are some things that you want to keep in mind. You want to keep in mind that whatever I've said about 2 to 4 hours, these aren't just numbers. What I mean by 2 to 4 hours of commitment is that you change your identity first. Remember, self-improvement is not a time commitment. It is an identity commitment, which means that you are not the type of person who, does those bad habits anymore. In fact, you are the type of person who does those good habits, who journals, who exercise, who improves themselves, who wastes no time on good. Let me tell you, who wastes no time on bad habits. Okay, waste no time. Just do the good habits every single time. You have extra time. What if you could stop scrolling through Instagram? You would spend like 1 hour of those. to focus on your brain health, meditation, focus, bro, exercise, and all that. So let's go to the actionable step. And before we go to the actionable step, which I'm going to share in the next page, I'm going to share you my goal with this year. My goal is to bring 1,500 subscribers this month. Currently we have around 1,188 men on our channel, and the target is 1,500. So it'll be very helpful if you could join the movement. Okay, and soon I'm gonna have these blank spaces here. I'm gonna have the pictures of my subscriber. Is still on the process, but you know the deal. I'm gonna slowly add pictures of y'all here, bro, so that we can keep people accountable and also highlight our movement here, helping students become the leaders of their own life. Now, your action plan is this. Find out what to do. What are the things that you're going to do? I've already told you. Meditation, journaling, exercise. Okay, let me just rewrite it here so that you can remember. Meditation, journaling, exercise. This is pretty much it. This is the foundational habits of your mind to start off with self-improvement. And why you're gonna do this, it's because it really will enhance every other aspects of your life, of your goal. And then you're also gonna do this, and second point is you're gonna find your goal, bro. You're gonna find your goal. What do you want to work on? Think about some aspects of your life that you lack, and for this goal video section, I really suggest you watch my previous video of how I talk about how self-improvement feels useless. It's just not useless. Self-improvement is not useless. It's just because you are working on the useless goal, which is not feeling meaningful. How do you find meaningful goal? Work on your constraint. What are the aspects of your life? Health, wealth, relationship, mental health, and spirituality. What are out of these where you are lacking? Where are you lacking in this health, wealth, relationship, mental health, and spirituality? Work on that, and that will give you meaningful goal. And wherever you're working on, when you meditate, journal, and exercise, it's only gonna enhance your progress, which is why you really find out what to do. Now, why to do it? People talk about, like, yeah, find your why, but people struggle with finding their why. They don't even have their meaning. And I'm sure if you find hard to figure out your why you want to do this, the reason behind your why, that will help you overcome every how. That if you're finding difficulty, what I would suggest is finding your who. Okay, who are you doing this for? And that is in turn your why. Who is your why? Okay, who is your why? So for example, you're doing it for your loved ones, you're doing it for your family, you're doing it for your tribe, you're doing it for your community, you're doing it for example, I'm doing it for the students of this generation, so that they can become greater leaders in the future, so that they can inspire others in whatever niche they are in health industries, in all of those industries. And that is true self-improvement, and that is my why, that is the reason. And I also do it for my loved ones, my family. So you figured who are you gonna help by doing your work, and there is your why. Okay, now the next one I'm gonna move on to is how much do you do? How much do you do? Especially with these ones, okay, with this MGE, meditation, journaling, exercise. How much do you do? Like I say, 2 to 4 hours of self-improvement altogether, right? Every single day. And meditation, usually I would suggest 10 minutes. 10 minutes is how you can start. Journaling is like 10 minutes. Just empty your mind. Gratitude journaling, write about what you're grateful for. Exercise, really, this stuff, like how much to do, is just secondary. Just figure out your what and your why for now. And exercise is also one of them, like I said. Now, if you want to stick to consistency, this is where we go to where to do. Okay, this section is like consistency. Where are you gonna meditate? Where are you gonna journal? Where are you gonna exercise? Or where are you gonna work on the task that brings you closer to your goal, which is an aid to your constraint? What do you do? Well, you figure out the why. You figured out the how. Now you figured out the where, which is really what environment you want to do. All these good habits. Maybe in your bed, on your bed. In the washroom, you can meditate. On your table, you can journal. In the living room, you can exercise, or you can exercise outside. Boom, you figure out the environment, right? Environment to form habits, really. Now you found a place. It's gonna be different, but you just want to rehearse it in your mind so that you can be consistent with it. The reason consistency is important is because most people, they progress, but they fall down. They progress, but they fall down. They progress, but they fall down, and then they just quit. They just quit after first few 2-3 days. After 2-3 days, they just quit because they are not consistent. Why they are not consistent is because they forget what they are supposed to do, because they have never done it before. If you're doing something you have never done before, you're gonna achieve what you have never achieved before. So it's the same thing, bro. You gotta do what you have never done before. You gotta revise your environment so that you can do the things that you have never done before, to achieve the things that you've never achieved before. Therefore, so we have the last point, when to do. When to do is really the timing of your habits, my meditation, journaling, exercise, and your goal. When are you gonna do it? You figure out where to do it, how much are you gonna do it. Now you figure out when to do it. Morning meditation is good, okay? Meditation in the AM is good. Journaling in the PM is good to really clear out your mind. And exercise in the evening, exercise in the evening is also good. These are just my suggestions. You just gotta figure out through trials and errors. You don't overthink through this. Just figure out what you're gonna do and why you're gonna do, and the rest will just come into place. Okay? A man with a why can overcome any how, when, where. Okay? So you figure out your why, you figure out your what. And look at this board now, all nice and clean, ready for you to take action. So as I leave, I'm signing off. Improve your life one step at a time, always.